Hello everybody, welcome back to the Chunky Studios. This is Jordan, and in today's video, I have an update in the tropics, as the tropics of the Atlantic and the Eastern Pacific Ocean are starting to get more active again. So let's get straight into today's video. So, first off, we have Erin, which is now transitioning into a post-tropical cyclone, and it will be a hurricane-force post-tropical cyclone for a decent amount of time before it moves to the south of Iceland, weakens, and eventually dissipates near that area, most likely. Now looking at our areas of interest, 70% in 48 hours and 80% in 7 days. This will likely form into our 6th storm of the season, and this will likely be an out-of-to-sea storm. It could impact like Nova Scotia and Newfoundland and Canada, but for the most part it will stay out to sea, but it could bring more dangerous rip currents and more big waves to portions of the East Coast. Next, 50% in 40 hours and 60% in 7 days. I wouldn't be surprised if I raise that to 70% in 7 days. The system is somewhat well organized, but it does have a low level center, and it's not in a as favorable environment right now. But as we get towards the end of Saturday into Sunday, this will move it to a more favorable environment, and it could form into a tropical depression or tropical storm as it moves to the west, and it could actually hit land in the Lesser Antilles and Greater Antilles. And then this is basically dead. It all originally had a 30% chance of formation, but now it's down to a 10%, and it'll probably be gone by the next outlook because this will definitely not form at this point. And then here's the Eastern Pacific. 50% in 7 days, 0% in 48 hours. A low pressure area will form off the coast of southwestern Mexico, and it could form into Southern Tropical as it moves to the northwest over the next several days after it forms. Now, let's look at the satellite imagery for these storms. Here's Erin. You can see it is still tropical, but it's starting to transition to a post-tropical cyclone, an extratropical cyclone, and will likely do so tomorrow, later today. Here's 99L. That's the 60% AOI. And you can see it is decently organized. It has lost some convection over the last several hours, but that's because it's not as a favorable environment for development, but it will move into a more favorable environment early next week, and it could form into something weak. Next, here's 90L, this 80% AOI. Not looking so good right now, but it's expected to become better over the next couple of days and will eventually form into a tropical system. Now looking at Erin, here's the intensity forecast. You can see a few models have it strengthening a little bit, but most of them have it weakening over the next few days before it eventually stabilizes as a tropical storm, extratropical cyclone, and it will eventually dissipate likely by the middle of next week. Now, looking at 99L, you can see some systems have this becoming a weak tropical storm, others have it staying as strong as it is, some even have it weakening, but a few have it becoming stronger, and if it becomes stronger, that wouldn't really mean much. It would be an out-to-sea storm, but if it were to peak, it would probably be an extratropical cyclone in about 5 to 7 days as it goes near southeastern Canada. And finally, 90L, you can see that models have supported this becoming a tropical storm or even a hurricane, And this could be the more significant of... Oh, I got them confused. So this one's the one heading towards Canada. The other one's the one heading towards land. So this one is going to become stronger, but it's not going to impact land. And the other one, it will impact land, but it won't likely be as strong. And it'll likely dissipate the Caribbean, although it could make it into the Gulf as a weak system. I don't know how I got those messed up, but anyways, that's all I have for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to my channel, leaving a like on this video, and leaving a comment down below. Goodbye.